Good morning everyone and welcome to Meister Tarot. Welcome back again. Okay, a lot of ground to cover today, so we'll see how we go. Might turn out to be two videos. So January 6th committee met again last night our time, yesterday your time, or whenever it was. I can't get the times right. And there were four main takeaways from the committee and the evidence they provided. Rusty Bowers, who is the Republican for Arizona, has had his life threatened. Apparently he was in the room when Giuliani suggested the electors be replaced with fake Trump electors, and Eastman was pressuring Bowers to decertify the official electors, which he refused to do, so therefore he was thrown to the wolves. Secondly was the Georgia certifier Wandrea Moss, and I do apologise if I've pronounced that wrong, who was a certified elector, and she refused to fake things. So she was then targeted by Trump and the RNC directly in tweets and ads, etc., and has had her lives, both her and her mother have had their lives threatened, and their lives basically became unbearable, so she has now become a recluse. Want to have a look to see whether they'll get any compensation in regards to that. So just thinking about what I might read on each of these. We'll see what Meister comes up with. The third point was that there are several members of Congress that have been identified as being involved in trying to overturn the election. Andy Biggs, Republican for Arizona, Ron Johnson, Republican for Wisconsin, and Jim Jordan, Republican from Ohio. So I want to have a look to see whether there's any fallout for those three. And the last takeaway was that the democracy is fragile, and that this polarization of the right is a real threat to democracy and to the United States. And if I get time today, I'll have a look at something else in regards to the unity and democracy of the United States in regards to the Texas Republican Convention. If anyone's been following that, okay, for a bunch of patriots, they really want to tear the United States apart. So, what I might have a look at first today, very exhausting all this, and I've got some other questions that I'll have a look at in the next few days in regards to overseas if we get a chance. Giuliani, do I have to? Giuliani, okay, so so apparently Trump admitted to Giuliani that election fraud, etc., and Trump was putting forward theories of what they could do to try and overturn the election. Apparently Trump admitted to Giuliani in the hearing of Bowers. Now, if I get this wrong, please let me know. Trump had admitted to Giuliani that there was no evidence of fraud, but he had lots of theories and he wanted to run with those theories. So tell me about what will happen to Giuliani. We'll run through these. Tell me what will happen to Giuliani in regards to trying to overthrow the election. What will happen to Giuliani? Just straighten my chair slightly, thank you, Master. What will happen to Giuliani? What will happen? Oh. The world is watching. The world is watching. It's also an ending, but a culmination of things. But you guys in the United States, this is world stage stuff. We have a saying that if the US sneezes, the world catches a cold. What goes on over there affects everything just about worldwide. So because you're the largest democracy that supposedly upholds Western values, But let's have a look. Tell me about Giuliani. Oh, okay. Yeah, he knows he's really in the poop. Everyone's turned against him. Thought he had friends in high places, and they've thrown him to the wolves. So, signified, Giuliani, extremely anxious. He knows he's right in the doo-doo, crossed by the hermit. He's under investigation, but he's also feeling incredibly isolated. He threw his lot in with people who thought he would have his back, and I'm talking about Trump and the likes of Trump and Eastman, etc., but they dropped him quicker than a hot potato. So he's really anxious. He's feeling isolated. If you have a look, it's also looks like the hermit is quite poverty-stricken, and he's under investigation. Yeah, King of Swords, he's really in the eye of the investigators. In the past, the Page of Wands, he was, pardon me, excuse me for a minute. He was, in the past, he saw himself as the messenger, but he saw himself in a higher position than what he actually was. He was passionate about it. He thought he was bringing forward the message of the president, etc. But that's all in the past. You couldn't have. Thank you, Master. No explanation. Crowning the reading. Potential future. Not necessarily physical death, but just complete ending for him. The immediate future. We have Victory, which is an interesting card in the immediate future. This isn't victory for Giuliani. This is victory for the January 6th. External, the Queen of Cups. This is my Liz Cheney card as the head of the January 6th committee. He's up against a very powerful female figure who has something that is going to be revealed. She's the only card in the deck where the cup is actually covered. She's going to take the lid off that cup, be a bombshell inside. Internal, he's feeling defeated, wounded, retreating. He's having to go back. Hopes and fears, loss. Yeah, we know that. Outcome, only the truth will move the US forward into calmer waters. There is this message being brought forward on an emotional level, an emotional relationship message being brought forward, perhaps an offer being made to Giuliani in regards to his lies, deceits, betrayal, in regards to the money that exchanged hands, in regards to all this. Base of the pack, we've got the king and walking away. So, okay, that might lead me to my next question. Is Giuliani going... So, Trump has... So, I'm not sure whether this is Trump turning his back on Giuliani, because Trump's still... amongst his followers riding high, so to speak. He's still out there doing rallies. He seems to have some sort of support. I'm not sure whether this is, I'll read on this, with whether this is Trump turning his back on Giuliani or Giuliani dobbing in Trump. So I'm not seeing prison for Giuliani there. I'll actually ask the question whether he'll go to prison, but I'm just going to have a look at these two cards and ask, is this Giuliani dobbing in on Trump? Let's have a quick look. Tell me, is these two cards, is this Giuliani dobbing in on Trump? These are my tiny, tiny little cards that are extremely hard to shuffle. Extremely hard to give them a poker shuffle. Oh, we have the losses jumped out again. So tell me, is this Giuliani turning on Trump. This is Giuliani turning on Trump. Got the celebration card, but it's also a confinement amongst the four messages card. An uneasy can be an uneasy alliance. Oh, I've got them flinging out everywhere. Excuse me for 2 seconds. Ace of Wands, going to be a very strong message brought forward. I'm thinking, okay, is Giuliani going to turn on Trump? Is Giuliani going to turn on Trump? I had too many fall out then. Is Giuliani going to turn on Trump? Got the Trump org. Ooh, okay. Is Giuliani going to turn on Trump org? Okay, so we've got Trump org, Russia, and contracts and agreements. Okay, we'll watch that. So we've got this really strong new message coming forward. So Giuliani is feeling loss. He thought it was all, happy marriages and all the rest of it, which it's not. So he's going to bring forward a message in regards to Trump org's relationship contracts with Russia. Okay, interesting. We'll see where that leads. Is Giuliani going to go to jail? Is Giuliani going to be prosecuted? Whether it's jail or not, let's ask. Is Giuliani going to be prosecuted? I can't get out of my head the image of him in the car park of the plant nursery. Was it a plant nursery? Hardware store. With dye running down his cheeks. Rabid, ranting. Tell me. Is Giuliani going to be prosecuted? Yes, no, yes, no. Is Giuliani going to be prosecuted? Is Giuliani going to be prosecuted? Is Giuliani going to be prosecuted? Going to have to defend himself. There is some work going on behind the scenes following the money trail. There is a okay, yeah. Okay, I'll talk about this in a second. Right, so he's going to have to defend himself. So I'd say that he's going to be charged. So he's going to, he's going to be under attack. So I'd say he's going to be charged. It is in relation to some cooked books behind the scenes. Now, if you remember, for those that are my long-time followers and those that aren't, I did a video, months ago now, about Weiselberg and 2 sets of books, cooking the books for Trump org, and that coming up in regards to the New York State Department prosecution or something to that effect. Not completely all over US politics. And it came back, yes, very strongly that there are 2 sets of books there. And that it will be the undoing of Trump org. So this is the cooked books card. There is going to be a message coming out about the money laundering or the deceptive work behind the scenes, financial work It's going to come forward very quickly. There will be smoke and mirrors in regards to it, or it is a smoke and mirrors incident, but it will come to full illumination. So I'm seeing that he will face prosecution. I don't see him going to jail. There wasn't the 8 of Swords card there at all. But he will be brought to some sort of court case, and I'm thinking he's going to help spill the books on the money laundering and the second set of books that was run by Trump, because it's come up a couple of times now. Okay, what I want to have a look at next, use these cards. So, for example, Wandera Moss, the Republican certifier, who was deliberately targeted by Trump and the Republican National Committee because she refused to fake the election outcome, and ended up, her address and phone number were published on Twitter. She received death threats. She received, things in her yard that were very unpleasant. Both her and her mother, and being a black woman in a state such as Georgia, she was fearful of her life. So I want to see whether there's going to be any recompense for these people. Is there going to be any recompense? Okay, thank you, Master. Now, how do I explain this? He's very good at dubbing on me without telling me how to explain it. The January 6 committee is setting up the picture, the trailer, movie trailer type thing, if you want to put it that way, for what is going to come next in regards to Trump's direct involvement in threatening these people. Oh boy, the DOJ are hanging out to get their hands on some of this, aren't they? We'll have a read on that in a minute, but tell me, are these people going to get some recompense? Yeah. Karma and destiny. Circles of support. They really do need their support. Are they going to get some recompense for this? Are they going to get recompense for this? They were officially elected. They were doing their job. They would have been proud of the fact that they had that position, and to be put in this situation is just horrific. Tell me, will they get recompense, Master? Will they get recompense? Yeah, they will. I don't know that I need to go any further on that yet. So we've got, yes, they will be, not necessarily much. It won't compensate for what they were put through, but yes, they are going to get some financial compensation for what they were put through. I'll have a quick look. What was that other question I was going to ask on? Sorry, mind like a sieve on occasions. Oh, more than occasional. Oh, okay. Yes. Tell me, will this threatening, will the threatening of certifiers by Trump and his cronies? Oh yes, I'm feeling very lightheaded here. I'm on a right path with something. Will this threatening via social media, because it is illegal to threaten via over the phone, via social media. Well, I don't know about in America, it's illegal in Australia. Will there be justice? I don't know that I need to go any further than that. Actions and consequences. My question was going to be, is there going to be any fallout from these threats for those that threatened? And there was justice. Is there going to be any fallout for those that threatened via phone, social media, whatever? Is there going to be any backlash, fallout for those? Sorry that shuffling takes a while sometimes. Meister's looking for the right cards. Will there be any fallout? There we go. Will there be any fallout? Yeah, there is. Some people are in for a bit of a surprise in regards to that. Yep. Yeah, they are. At the moment, they're juggling about which ones to actually prosecute in regards to this. Here are the lawmakers, and an offer being brought forward. Yeah. In regards to these cards, what they're telling me is yes, there is. Who, they haven't decided yet. Oh, I might have a ask if there's going to be. Let's have a look. Meister likes to lead me on. One question after another, don't you, Meister? Okay. Will Trump be prosecuted for threatening? Let's ask a direct question. Will Trump be prosecuted or brought to account for threatening certifiers? Will Trump, or endangering certifiers, will Trump be brought to account for endangering certifiers? There we go. Yep. For those that are learning tarot, you know when the cards are ready. Ooh, okay. Here's the investigators. I might do a bringing forward a message of the truth, but the investigators are also working hard following the money trail. Here's Biden, or past, yeah, well, we could have seen that in the past. Here's that devil energy. This is this toxicity, the greed, the lies, the avarice, the addiction, all that yucky. Okay, Trump's going to have to defend himself in regards to this. There is a very powerful message coming forward in regards to this. Externally, there is a plan coming to fruition, and internally, downfall, complete and utter downfall. Hope and fear for the voter. Offer coming forward for somebody by the lawmakers, leading to judgment in regards to the past. He's going to have to defend himself under investigation for his foolishness. We've got the money laundering card again. And we have the Star of Hope and a new beginning. So, what I'm getting from this is it is under investigation. He is going to have to defend himself. This is being brought forward for the sake of the voters. He will be under investigation from the lawmakers, and this little old wise cat, she sees everything. Nothing is escaping her attention. there will be an inevitability in regards to what happened in the past, what he brought forward for himself. He's going to be wounded in battle as he goes under investigation in regards to his foolishness. And again, it's about money. It's always about money. So I'm saying, yeah, Trump is going to have to. They're going to attempt to bring him to account in regards to that. Okay, or they're investigating it. He's going to be brought to account whether anything comes from that, but it is for the sake of the democracy and the voter. Okay, I'm going to have a really quick look, or maybe not, Andy Biggs, Ron Johnson and Jim Jordan. So, Ron Johnson is claiming no involvement, as of course they do. But Ron Johnson's aide, Sean Riley, there were actually texts brought forward as evidence between Sean Riley and the Vice President Pence's aide, requesting that the electors be changed out for Trump supporting electors. Pence's aide said, I don't think so. That ain't going to happen. But it came from Ron Johnson's aide. Now, I don't think Sean Riley would have done that by himself. So we'll have a look to see whether Sean Riley will be brought forward as a witness. In regards to Jim Jordan, there were texts to Mark Meadows with a theory to invalidate and throw out votes. So they're all up for re-election this year. What do I want to actually look at? I'll just ask, so 4 cards for each of them, please. Andy Biggs, tell me about Andy Biggs, Republican, Arizona. 4 cards, please, 4 cards. Oh, there is something, hidden agenda. There is hidden information that's going to be revealed. 2 major arcana leapt out for him. Karma's going to come back and bite him on the bum. Again, it's about getting paid for something. He is finding it burdensome. And we've come back to this Queen of Coins. So it's okay. Thank you, Meister. It's in regards to the homeland security, domestic security, threatening to overthrow the election, etc. And he is going to have to defend himself. So there is something hidden, or something behind the scenes that he has hidden, that is going to come back and bite him on the backside. Tell me about Jim Jordan, Republican of Wisconsin, accused of abuse when he was a wrestling coach, I believe. How these people become senators, I have no idea. Tell me about Jim Jordan, which will get me onto one I want to have a look at tomorrow. Gretton's the cretin. Anyhow, tell me about Jim Jordan. In regards to all this, Sean Riley, his aide, texting. Will Jim Jordan go down in regards to this? Jim Jordan. They're still trying to decide which way to go on regards to this. It depends. Okay, that brings me to my next question. So the Hierophant, which is the government, legal systems, etc., they're still looking at this, deciding which way to go in regards to the truth. Okay, this brings me to my next question. There is going to be a whistleblower come forward. To the January 6 committee, the lawmakers, with an offer So, in an offer in regards to this deceit and betrayal. And there's Trump and death. But this was Jim Jordan in regards to the connections with Trump that's going to lead to a downfall. So this brings me to Sean Riley, because logically, to me, the next step for the January 6 committee would be to bring forward Sean Riley, because he's in deep doo-doo himself. Is Sean Riley going to dob in Jim Jordan? Is Sean Riley going to dob in Jim Jordan? Which was that whistleblower that we got there, Page of Swords. Going to bring forward the betrayal, the deception, the connection to Trump, which will lead to the end of Jim Jordan. But let's just have a look. Will Sean Riley aid to Jim Jordan? Yeah, I don't think I need to pull any more. Complete and utter downfall. Here he is, the whistleblower to the January 6 committee. Yep. Base of the pack, loss. And then we have the government. So, yep, he is, as far as I can tell. Let's see what comes. Okay. Sorry, Ron Johnson. Wonder if I've mixed those up. Because I was thinking of Sean Riley. Okay. Let's have a look at... Okay. So that was Jim Jordan. There is... Okay, right, okay. There is going to be... Meister, please explain this to me. Are Ron Johnson and Jim Jordan in cahoots? Because this Sean Riley, he knows stuff. I hate that word, stuff. Got that all mixed up, didn't I? Okay, tell me about... Ron Johnson. Tell me about Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson. Let me make sense of that. Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson. It's getting a bit carried away there. Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson. Tell me further, Master. Why did you let me get all mixed up there? Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson, Sean Riley, Jim Jordan. Are they all connected? Yeah, I'm getting a yes. And Sean Riley is the key. Tell me about Sean Riley and his relationship to Jim Jordan. Ron Johnson, Jim Jordan. Ron Johnson, Jim Jordan. It is, again, a crossroads of the truth in regards to the moral corruption. They're going to have to defend themselves. There is a really big information coming out, a harsh truth. That'll possibly prison in regards to the lies and the steal. And then we have hope. So it's after this harsh truth comes forward in regards to the lies and the steal, possible prison, then we've got hope. So this is the relationship between Jim Jordan and Ron Johnson. Okay, thank you, Master. The reason we've got this Two of Swords is there are two of them. To me, this looks like the Page of Swords with two swords in regards to this moral corruption. So there is going to be a whistleblower that will bring both of them down. The truth needs to come out to be able to move forward. It is under investigation in regards to the plotting. Okay, thank you, Master. The plotting, and they will be brought to justice. Okay. Oh, that was a bit convoluted. Okay, so thank you for joining me today in regards to that. Oh, it's ongoing, isn't it? There is another committee hearing in 2 days, so I shall catch up with that on Monday. So thank you for joining me. A few things to look at tomorrow, which are a bit juicy. We'll see where they go. Any questions, please put them below. That was interesting. I have been asked to look at Kim Jong-un. I will look at that sometime during the next week. But there is this connection between Ron Johnson and Jim Jordan that is Sean Riley, and he is going to bring some information forward. Okay. See where it leads us. Catch you later. Take care. Stay sane and stay above it. Bye-bye.